Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. So today I want to give you guys the current state of hunters and what we can expect in the near future, along with a pretty fitting game, as you will see. So hunters right now are probably the least played class. It's hunters and paladins that you see very few of, but some players have actually done particularly well with certain combo control murloc style paladins. There's a few very specific deck lists, but they do work reasonably well in the meta, so much so that people have gotten pretty high up in Legend with those said paladin decks. As far as for Hunter, I'm sure there's people out there that have made it work for them, but in the very general case, Hunter kind of just gets outclassed right now. Hunter was always the class that was fairly weak against aggressive decks that were slightly faster than it, and right now, seeing as most aggressive decks like to kill you by turn 4 or 5 so they can beat out Reno decks, well, that's a little too fast for Hunter decks to really get going. I mean, you know, the big Hunter drops on turn 6, on turn 9, you just don't get to play them. You just get absolutely destroyed before you can really develop your win conditions. Hunters don't really have very many effective taunts. Hunters don't really have any healing whatsoever. So, you know, they can't play as fast as some of the other really fast decks, and they can't really compete for control as well as they would like. Yeah. So Hunter players are a bit out of luck right now, and I made the comments that it's likely that Hunter will be in the gutter as well in the next expansion. We know from what Blizzard has talked about that their development cycle is about 2 expansions. So the reason why, like, you know, Karazhan came out and Priest didn't get anything whatsoever is because the Hearthstone development team is making these expansions like 2 expansions ahead of time. So what that means is if we have an issue right now, it's going to be fixed in 2 expansions. And Hunters and Karazhan were actually a very popular class. It was possibly the second most popular deck because it actually was a fairly decent, but not complete, but fairly decent counter against mid-range Shaman, which everyone was playing. So Hunters are fine last patch. Hunters are in the crapper right now, but that generally means Hunters will have some really good card additions, not next expansion, but the expansion after that. The counter to that is that because the next expansion is the first of the year, it's going to rotate out some of the sets from Standard. So it's going to knock out Blackrock Mountain, it's going to knock out League of Explorers, and it's going to knock out Grand Tournament. So with those things in mind, seeing as Hunters didn't really get that many big things, they definitely got a few nice cards, but not too many game-breaking cards, and other classes might actually struggle a lot. Like, actually, Shamans might struggle quite a bit without those sets, but it's difficult to say, especially so because we have no idea what's upcoming in the next expansion. But basically what I'm saying is, while Hunters are going to get very, very likely, I would say almost a certainty, Hunters are not going to get any good cards next expansion. I think it is reasonable to assume that they could actually still be viable again, just because the whole metagame is going to be completely different as Standard will roll out so many sets. So, no telling where Hunter's going to be in the next expansion, but for now, press F to pay respects is definitely a suitable way to look at the class, and I wanted to prove it to you guys in one of my fun free-to-play account ladder games. So I hope you guys do enjoy that. Let me know your thoughts about Hunters, and we'll see what's coming up for the class in the next few months.
Fuck, I'll just keep it. Hunter do not meta. Yeah, well. Certainly the kind of priest deck I'm playing also does not meta. Dragon!
Tonight, a tale of wonder and magic.
Embrace your rage. I taste fear.
cute. Too bad it's not Ragnaros.
Once upon a time.
Fine. Of course there's no other minions. What did you expect?
Twist.
Blessed be this funnel cake.
Deadly shot time. Might lose the Call of the Wild. Yep, it's possible.
I wield the power. Black.
I'm not so sure he'll trade if he has Call of the Wild. Okay, fine. Okay, I just can't really deal with another one very well. Oh yeah, I can actually.
Once upon a time.
Whoa, that's pretty good. I respect that. I think I'm gonna go for some nice double draws here. There's no way he has Yogg. That's a pretty bad one.
Secret agent coming through.
It's the play around Call of the Wild. Nice.
Move outside.
Nation all the minions he has in his deck. Yeah, so if he plays Call of the Wild, I smite face, and then he has 4 minions, so then I unleash 4 minions. It's 4 damage, as opposed to kill command, it does 3. And if he never draws his other Call of the Wild, I can't possibly lose that game.